Happy Jewish American Heritage Month. Jewish American Heritage Month was started in 2006, and the purpose is to acknowledge the important role Jewish Americans have played in shaping the United States from its early days to the present. I tried to do a series about this last year, but I wasn't able to, and this year, listen, my mom is in the hospital. She's not doing very well. I definitely want to do this series every day for this month, and we'll see what I'm able to do. But today I have kind of a shorter one that, well, it fits very much, but this is not a famous person. But you don't need to have been famous to have had a role in shaping the United States from its early days to the present. So I want to talk about someone you don't know unless you are from the community I grew up in, the Detroit suburbs. My cantor when I was a kid, and for those of you who are not Jewish or Catholic, cantor is kind of like a rabbi, but the musical part of the service. Cantor Vider, he was kind of the soul of my synagogue, and he was born in Czechoslovakia. He was a Holocaust survivor. He lost his parents, his 4 brothers, and 2 sisters. And he came to the U.S. and he worked at my synagogue for decades. In fact, not only did he help my mom prepare for her bat mitzvah, but then he later helped me. Now, for conservative Judaism, when my mom was a kid, bat mitzvahs were, which is for women, were kind of a newer thing. So my mom was among the first 5 girls to have a bat mitzvah in the 60s. So my mom and the 4 other girls were, as Cantor Vider called them, his gulls. And so he had an extra bit of affection for them, and as a result, also me. He would come up to you. He was such a sweet, gentle man, but he would come up to you and pinch your cheeks so hard, extra hard if he liked you. So it kind of hurt. Anyway, he was this tiny little man. He couldn't have been more than 5 feet tall, which I am now. And one time when my mom and I were talking about him, because even as a kid, I could see, how small he was and, how sweet he was. And my mom said, Casey, he was part of the resistance. And I said, what do you mean he was part of the resistance? She said, yeah, he helped liberate the camps. He escaped the camps and fled to the Russian army in 1944. And so he ended up being part of the Russian army, which was part of the liberation effort. And then he ended up eventually getting to the Detroit area. Anyway, he helped with the education and development of many children, and he was a kind man, and he really was the soul of our congregation, and he's very missed, and we're all lucky to have had him in our lives. So that is day 1, and also happy Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, because we share this. All right, bye everyone.